As stated, my name is Sean Washington. I'm the police chief for the City of Fremont Police Department. Thank you for being here today. It's unfortunate that we all must be here today. Although I'm grateful for the opportunity to highlight exceptional police work and collaborative efforts of the CHP, Santa Cruz PD, Scotts Valley PD, and my own agency, I'm saddened that we have to be here to once again speak about ridiculous and unacceptable violence by individuals utilizing guns to commit crimes. Our hearts go out to the family impacted by this senseless violence. We stand with the family. We also stand with our community, who are just as frustrated by these violent acts. Gun violence continues to impact our communities throughout our nation. My intent today is to provide additional details and information on the April 8th shooting and attempted murder of one of our community members. I have my team here with me today, and if we have time at the end, they will be able to answer any questions that you might have. Details of the shooting. On April 8th, 2023, at approximately 6:25 p.m., FPD received a call of a shooting in the 37,000 block of Fremont Boulevard near Norris Road. The victim stated that he was walking on Fremont Boulevard when the passenger of the suspect vehicle referred to his clothing. The driver and passengers exited the vehicle, and the driver had a handgun in his hand. The victim ran into the neighborhood and heard 2 or 3 shots from behind him. The victim continued to run and was not struck by gunfire. A witness observed 3 suspects exit a red Honda, which was a suspect vehicle, and the driver pulled a black handgun from his waistband. One of the suspects shot 1 time at the vehicle as the victim was running away. Witnesses provided a partial plate number of 8UM, U as in Union, M as in Mary. And we are fortunate in our city, as well as other communities throughout this region, that we have community members who embrace technology, as 2 community cameras in the area of Fremont Boulevard and Norris Road were present and captured the majority of the incident, including 1 suspect pointing a firearm at the victim. Additional footage captures the second suspect shooting 1 round at the victim. The cameras also identify the suspect vehicle as a red Honda Accord with the full plate of 8 U as in Union, M as in Mary, T as in Tom, 360. After confirming the license plate, the vehicle was entered into a law enforcement database as a felony attempted murder vehicle. Later that night at about 9:58 p.m., about 3 hours later, Santa Cruz PD informed FPD that they had stopped the suspect vehicle after a vehicle pursuit. They detained 3 suspects. FPD detectives and our task force responded and took custody of the 3 suspects. A firearm was located near the scene of the vehicle stop in Santa Cruz. A second firearm was later recovered by CHP. The suspect vehicle was towed back to Fremont PD for processing of evidence. CHP and Fremont PD later learned the shooting that happened in Fremont, as I just described, was related to another shooting, which our CHP officials will talk about in a little bit. This incident is another unfortunate reality of gun violence within our communities. This is, however, an example of how technology, our community, and excellent police work can help us all stay safe. I would like to thank all of our law enforcement professionals who once again answered the call to guard our community from extremely dangerous individuals causing harm to our communities. These are bad people, and I am grateful they are no longer in our communities causing harm. With that, I'll turn it over to our partners from the California Highway Patrol.
Thank you very much, Chief. My name is Esri Beauchamp. I'm the Chief of the Golden Gate Division for the California Highway Patrol, which covers the 9 Bay Area counties. As we're kind of going in order here of what happened next, approximately 15 to 20 minutes after this incident happened in the city of Fremont, there was a family traveling together on southbound 880 in the city of Fremont going to a birthday event. A vehicle pulled up alongside of them and rounds were fired into the vehicle. Sitting in the vehicle was a 5-year-old girl, Eliyanah Crisostomo, who was sitting next to her 7-year-old brother, where a round penetrated the vehicle and struck this young girl. The family, realizing what had happened, as they continued to drive, observed a CHP officer stopped on the side of the freeway. They pulled over, grabbed their young daughter, and handed her to the CHP officer asking for help. He did everything he could to try to help her and requested medical services. Unfortunately, as we all know, this young girl passed away. And first let me say this is something that no parent, no father, no mother, no one should ever have to deal with. And we as an agency, our heart goes out to this family and what they're having to go through. And the individuals that did this, it's utterly disgusting that they would do something of this nature to such a beautiful young girl and the family members who had to be there to see it happen. In the next few hours, we were able to learn, working in conjunction, that these same individuals, as the chief spoke about, may have been involved in a shooting in the city of Fremont. And as the chief spoke about, through the use of technology, Fremont Police Department, Scotts Valley Police Department, and Santa Cruz Police Department, we were able to work together hand in hand with these agencies. 3 individuals were detained and they were questioned, and we started to put together our investigative profile. Over the next 5 days, through forensic evidence, through closing down the freeway to look for shell casings, to look for DNA evidence, to look for guns, we're able to find evidence that helped with this case. And it was an accurate and thorough investigation that was completed in such a short amount of time. Now, again, our heart goes out to this family. I can only hope that the solving of this case and the evidence which has been presented to the district attorney, I only hope this brings some sense of closure and some sense of hope to this family to know that these individuals are behind bars and that they won't be able to do this to anyone else. Now, to those who travel the Bay Area freeways, I know you may have many questions. Let me tell you, your safety is our #1 priority. And we want to prevent incidents like this from happening, but when they do, we're going to do everything we can to solve them through the use of technology, working with our allied agency partners, and excellent police work like has happened here. Also, the governor's office has allocated over $10 million through a highway violence grant and task force to help address these same type of issues that are taking place on the freeways throughout the state of California. I specifically want to thank Fremont PD. Really, through their excellent police work, through our partnerships with them, Santa Cruz Police Department and Scotts Valley Police Department, we would not be here today having this press conference if it was not for them. And to Golden Gate Division's Special Services Command and Special Investigations Unit, they're true professionals, and the work they've done here has been nothing short of fantastic, and I couldn't be more proud of the work they've done. Where the case goes from here, the report's been turned over to the district attorney for filing of the charges, and that's why we have the district attorney here today, and thankful that she's here. I would now like to turn over the remainder of this time to the DA of Alameda County, Pamela Price. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Pamela Price. I am the District Attorney of Alameda County. On behalf of the District Attorney's Office and all of the officers who have worked on this case, we offer our condolences to the family. This has been a horrific tragedy from the time that we learned of it. I can tell you, as a mother and a grandmother, my heart goes out to this family. No family should have to experience this. No mother, no grandmother should have to be riding in a car and discover that your child has been shot by someone that you have no idea and no sense, no warning whatsoever that this would happen. And so we know that this is a great shock to that family, and it certainly was a shock to those of us who became aware of it. Our office was notified early on about the work that was being done, this incident, and the tremendous work that was being done to find out who did this, to apprehend those, and to make sure that we had enough evidence to be able to prosecute these men and to hold them accountable. We were aware of the first assault with a deadly weapon on the streets of Fremont, and so our office initially charged 2 of the gentlemen with assault with a deadly weapon. The case evolved as we were waiting, and I want to commend our Deputy District Attorney Casey Bates, who worked closely with law enforcement as this was an evolving situation, from the streets of Fremont to the highway and to the work that was being done to ensure that we were able to get this right. And so he worked long on Friday evening. Friday afternoon, we filed an initial complaint charging 2 of the men, and then we were able, based on the evidence that the officers and the CHP was able to produce, we were able to then file additional and amended complaint. And so we have filed a number of charges, 1 count of murder against the young woman, the young child, the 5-year-old victim, 1 count of murder each against 3 gentlemen. We have 6 counts each of firing into an occupied vehicle, which we know happens too often on Bay Area highways and is extremely dangerous. And we definitely want to make sure that that does not continue to happen on our highways, as well as 1 count each of assault with a firearm based on the incident that happened in Fremont. If convicted as currently charged, each defendant faces a minimum of 42 years to life exposure. However, we are continuing to evaluate the case. We're continuing to receive information. The work that's been done so far has been tremendous, and we appreciate the work done by the CHP and the work done by the Fremont Police Department. And the level of the evidence we believe will allow us to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that these gentlemen committed this heinous crime. We also understand that there's additional evidence and information that we are evaluating, so additional charges may be brought at a future time. Again, I cannot say enough that this is the kind of tragedy that no family should ever have to endure, and that we want to make sure, and we appreciate the work of law enforcement, to make sure that none of us are subjected to this kind of violence, that the use of guns in Alameda County, our office is committed to doing as much as we can to eliminate and reduce gun violence in this county, wherever it exists, whether it's on the streets, in your home, on the freeway, wherever it happens. We have to stop it. So thank you for coming.